Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to today's Maintenance Monday live stream, number 33. I think this is up to 33. Appreciate your support of this channel, and if I've earned it, please subscribe, ring that bell so that you get notifications of new live streams and new tutorials when they get added. And if you're watching this on a replay, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Of course, those of you that are here right away have probably already subscribed because you've got notification I've gone live, so that's great. How about putting something in the chat there? And yes, Vinny, you're first. And we will have a chat after we talk about what today's topic is. Today's topic is something very interesting that I read in the Joomla user group on LinkedIn, and I'll show you that in a second. And so we're going to visit the Joomla Vulnerable Extensions List again, and tell you about kind of a new thing that's new to me that they were talking about. I'm sure it's not new to everybody, but why don't we head on over, pay attention to the screen, and then we'll tackle that. Hello, Corey. Bricks for Wheels is here. All right, let's transition over. Hey, guess what? It's a good thing you're here, Vinny. Hey, Hadjo, because March 28 Basic Joomla Tutorials giveaway winner is Vinny Abear. Abear. The H is silent, I think, because there's an accent in there. And so, Vinny, you have won a one-year membership to myjoomla.com to manage one site, or unlimited sites for 1 month. And if you already have a membership on there, I think maybe you do, that'll get tucked in afterwards. Great, I pronounced it right. So I'll be emailing you with the information to claim that. And you've also won a free year subscription to your choice of any Regular Labs extension, the Pro version. So congratulations, Vinny. You've been around here for a long time, so I'm glad to see that you finally won. Now, there's a new prize, just quickly before we get on the topic, that's being added to the monthly giveaways, and that is a free copy of... This is kind of tiny. I did this last week. Let me just switch back here. Joomla 3 Explained, courtesy of Joomla Shack from OS Training. Thanks to Steve Burgess for donating one of those every month. So if you live in a country that has a an actual printing facility for Amazon Kindle, then you can ask for either the paperback to be delivered to your house, or you can get a PDF version. If you live in a country that doesn't have one of those printing places, such as Canada, you will get the PDF version of this book. So that's the third prize that we're adding to the monthly giveaway. So good luck to everybody who enters. And we don't have too many people entering the contest, and I've got to figure out something about how often people can win, because I know some of the people donating prizes don't want to give away something to the same person 6 months in a row. So anyways, we'll sort it out. Now, let's move over to what we're talking about. Well, I try to figure out which is the right glasses and change the screen. There we go. And that, I was reading here on LinkedIn. I got notification of it in the Joomla group on LinkedIn. And this person, C. Mandeville, said he didn't usually post VEL items, vulnerable extension lists. That's what we're talking about, the Joomla Vulnerable Extension List. But he found this one, and so I thought, well, I'll click on it and see what it's talking about. And this wrapper code, all their free extensions, has a backdoor in it. And not only so a backdoor, an opening for other software and other things to be loaded in there, but what I saw was that the right now, at the moment, it said the backdoor seems to be loading mining code. And I thought, wow, that's pretty interesting. That's a new thing for me. Not surprising that it's being done, but that's a very intentional thing. And of course, that mining code is for Bitcoins or cryptocurrency, because we know that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency need machines, lots of computing power, takes up a lot of electricity, and people are farming that. They buy special computers to really get the best processing speed out of them. But, hey, another way around that is, why not infect computers all around the world and make them work and earn you some money? So I thought that would be a great segue, a great impetus for us to take a look at the Joomla VEL, the Vulnerable Extension List, here today. And I know many of you already know about it, and I do have a tutorial about it on the channel. I think it's probably more than a year and a half old. but I thought, hey, why not just check this over and see how to use it and what's happening in the current time with it. So vel.joomla.org is where we're at, and there's basically three things that you want to do in order to, the big main uses for using the VEL. And the first thing is to update any extensions on your site that have had a vulnerability found in them and have been fixed, and a release is out. And to do that, basically, we're in the how to use this site paragraph here. Go over to this link here, Resolved VEL. I'm going to right click and open in a new tab. We'll just go over to there. And here is a list of all of the extensions that recently have been on the vulnerable extension list, but have been corrected, have had their vulnerabilities corrected. So for instance, March the 30th, 2018, Prayer Center 3.0.2, which is terrible timing because last weekend was Easter weekend, but they have already released a fix for the issue with the vulnerability that was found in their software. And of course, a lot of these vulnerabilities are just accidental. They're not intended. They've either been found over time, or else perhaps the programmer has forgotten or missed something and allowed them to be vulnerable. And so here is a list of recent winners on the VEL list, winners if we want to call them that, and they have pasted updates. So you could go down there and see if there's anything on here that you use. In fact, I saw this ACY mailing 5.9.5 just from March the 27th. So I'm going to definitely want to make sure that all of my clients are updated on that. Now we go back to the VEL site. So we've talked about updating, and then there's mitigating. And here we can check all the known vulnerable extensions in the live VEL section. So I'll right click on that, open in a new tab. And here is a list of the stuff that is vulnerable, but yet does not have a release fix for it. And so this category lists vulnerable extensions for which no patch exists. So what you want to do is take a look down this list and see, is there anything on here that you use on your site or that you use on your client site that is something that you need to deal with right away. It may just be something like, for instance, let's go down here, Simple Calendar 3.1.9, an SQL injection. I always say squirrel in front of SQL instead of SQL. That might be something you might look into. You might unpublish that, or you might unpublish that on your site so that's not there. Put up a little module saying calendars being currently worked on. See what's up with Simple Calendar, contact them, or maybe you're going to have to look for something new. And I'm just speaking very generally. I don't know anything about the Simple Calendar, what's happening there. But here's a whole list of things. And of course, the one that we just looked at that was highlighted on LinkedIn, the Rapid Code All Free Extensions backdoor. So that's what's happening live right now as far as the best known. Whether there's a fix posted for those or not, these are not. So that's something to consider. And then also, let's just go back to the main page we're at. So we've got update, we've got mitigate, and I'm going to say subscribinate for the third step. And that is scroll down to the bottom of your of the page there, and you'll see subscribe to Joomla Security, vulnerable extensions by email, and subscribe to Joomla Security recently resolved vulnerable extensions by email. So instead of having to check both of those lists as we have just manually, you can subscribe to these lists. Just open up new tabs as well. And you will be notified when there's a new extension on the VEL that's live and one when it's resolved. And they use FeedBurner for that. Basically just have to put your email address in, and you will, to those two things, and you will be subscribed, and you will get the updates about what's happening with vulnerable extensions for Joomla. So that's the topic for today. I just thought that that'd be good for us to take a look at those, and it's a great tool there for it's new for anybody or anybody watching this recording down the road to sign up for that and keep your site secure. So I got a question for you, and we can chat about this. And if you're watching this on the recording, then by all means put it in the comment below. But have you ever had an extension that you had on one of your sites or a client site show up on the VEL And what did you do? Anything happened because of it? Let's put that in the comments below. So before we head over to the chat here, I'll just thank everybody for watching up to this point. And I will make myself a little bit bigger here for doing that. Put the chat up. Want to thank you again for watching, for your support of this channel. We're up to 800 and I think 69 subscribers, heading towards 1,000. That'll be fun. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe and ring that bell, like the video, and leave a comment below. And if you have any topics you'd like covered in a Maintenance Monday or in a tutorial when I get my act together and get some more happening, then please leave a comment below. But until I see you next then, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless. Okay. Here we go. Let's get to the chat. Yes. Oh, and by the way, everybody, I know that on YouTube they're having live playback of chat, so you no longer need to capture them in the screen like I've got here. But apparently hasn't been rolled out for my channel yet. They're doing all the big channels first, so we'll see eventually when that happens. Akeeba on the list of the resolved. Probably. I mean, anything can happen. I wonder what does it say here on there? F3. No, I don't see it on resolved. Oh, what page are you on there? Maybe I'll go all here. And then we'll do the F3. Oh, there. September 2017. Various issues. Page 2. Yeah. And I got a link there for what the various issues were, but they fixed that up. So, yep. I guess it's easy for anything to get on there. In fact, I tell you, I've been working away on my server, trying two servers with two different windows open. It's like, be very careful, because eventually I'm going to make a mistake and delete something off of one when I think I'm doing the other. But yeah, I bet you they had a pretty quick fix when that came out. Vinny, do you have an idea what Regular Labs extension you're going to get with your win this month? And you got notified okay, got notified when I went live today, or did you get notified that I was scheduled to go live? That would be good to know. Okay, one you don't already have. Yep. I've just been working on... Oh, you went to Twitter. Okay, great. Great, it showed up in Twitter. Yeah, I tried to, before I start the live stream, announce it in Twitter, on LinkedIn, and then on the Basic Joomla Facebook page, and then I share it to my personal page as well. So, Hadjo, you said last week, you said in a comment from last week, you might have big news this week. Have you got that yet? Yeah, Corey, and I know that you work on Rick's site, Smart Drive Test, and on his channel, and that he has it. So, yeah, that's nice. I suppose it's not so bad. I don't mind so much having it here on the screen as well. It's kind of handy, especially... Hi, Mary. Yes, Phil does keep us all safe from that. Although I'd have to check to see. I'd have to check to see if what he's got incorporated in the with the VEL as well. But I actually have another window open up on my computer here. I tweeted Phil because I've been doing some beta testing for his new myjoomla.com. And so I asked him Is the new front page good enough for a quick sneak peek scroll? That's all during the live stream today, and I haven't heard back from him. He may actually already have gone to bed there, so I am not able to show you, but it's pretty good, including some bells and whistles. Well, not so much whistles, but there are some bells in it now. When it finishes something, you get a little ding. But I'm just looking at it here on the screen here. But I have to check. I'll ask him about the incorporation with the VEL, because that would be a really neat thing too, to get notified of that. But yes, that's still it's good to get the mailing and the list right away. It's been actually quite active, as you can see on the list here, of the live stuff from March 2 on the 30th, 3 on the 27th, 23, 22, 20. And then when we look at the, that was the resolved, sorry, and then the live, still 30, 28. So it's not every day, but there's a bunch that keeps going, so. You can submit titles now, but that's a lot of work. What were you, Hadja, what are you referring to about submitting titles? Is that the big news? I'm confused. Ahmed, it's very nice to see you today. You're very welcome. About the VEL. News on that. Thanks for tuning in again today. Good to see you again. Oh, okay, from the last accessibility where you couldn't submit subtitles, and now you can. Yeah, and that's the thing in YouTube where you just have to have community contributions turned on in the video. Hadja, where are you? What videos are you submitting subtitles to? Or what channel are you submitting video subtitles to? See, because Bricks for Wheels, who is Corey, he's using he does the closed captioning for Rick August's Smart Drive Test site, and so he comes on the live stream here sometimes a smart drive test, and I believe that Corey does the translation in the community contribution section, and then submits it, and then Rick approves it. If I have that right, I think that's what you do, Corey, right? Oh, the barrier-free website. The focus is sacred, nothing regulates accessible websites in practice. Oh, okay. Channel J and Beyond EV. Okay. Let me look for that. Or if you want, you can just post the URL in there. I've just made it so that you're able to do that. Oh, it's a German YouTube community. Okay. So are you you're not translating, you're actually doing the subtitles. All right, let's see that link there. Oh, I clicked in the window, had the chat. Let's see if I get that back. Well, all right. I think I'm back in the chat. I just wiped out the whole history of everything. So, oh, hey, it's all feeding back in super fast now. It's reloading the chat. Okay. Get back to that link there. It's a little bit funny going on the stream. I'm not seeing anything currently. You guys are typing till... Okay, so I'm going to open that in a new window here. Okay, I see then. I got the picture here. Yeah, I'm working on a project with the fellow who is going to translate OS Training's basic Joomla video training course, which they have on their YouTube channel publicly. It's 40 videos. He's going to dub them in Urdu. That's the language in Pakistan. And so I was showing him how to use the community contribution thing on a video. And you can just, of course, go in. I have English subtitles, so done on my videos and most of my videos. And so then you select Urdu, and then it puts in Urdu. And he read it, and he says, "Yeah, that needs a lot of correcting." So yeah, the auto one is not great. I'll tell you. Let me tell you about a site that we'll do this one right here. What is it called? I can bring it up on the window. Okay. This depends. I don't know how this works for translating. I just have it off screen here. Let me switch to the this here. It's loading slowly. Basically, I just put in the address of the video that you shared with me. It's called DIYcaptions.com. DIYcaptions.com. And basically, you can tab through at a time and correct subtitles. But I'm not sure if this fellow has a way to actually switch it so that you can do another language. What you could do on this page, and again, let me just show you, go to DIYcaptions.com and then place the URL of your video here. It will then open it in this window, and then you can tab through and you can see if you can hear what the...
Behinderungen gemeint. Und in einem Land wie Deutschland mit so einer relativ alten Bevölkerung ist der...
So it's a long story how I got to know this guy. And basically, I developed a tool for YouTubers to take the downloaded file of the closed captions out of YouTube, download it, and it strips out all the time codes so that you have a block of text that you can then use to for content in an article or your video description without having to take all the line codes out. And when I had someone testing, he says, "Oh, your tool is a lot like this guy's tool," and he told me and directed me to it. And I've been talking to this fellow. So what you could actually do is you could listen to each one of these little sections and try to type out something in English. And then as you proceed, you would do that. You replace this. As you proceed, you simply just go up to the menu, save your changes. There's somewhere that you can save. Oh, save. And then download the file, and you'd actually have an English SRT file, which you could then upload as a contribution, I believe, to the YouTube as an English language, and then you don't have to do it right inside of YouTube's tool. So that's at least go and check that out and play around with that, because as you'll see up here, I don't know if you can see it there in the text here. It says what I typed is just in there. This is English that I typed in this little section. You might find that easier for an easy tool for doing your translation. Like I said, you can download the SRT file and yes, the YouTube yeah, the YouTube tool it does take forever. I do find that this is a little bit faster now. Not with the translation, I'm not sure.
Sind Behinderungen eine Milliarde Menschen betreffen.
Yes,
Ungefähr
I'm not
eine
sure what
Milliarde
these
Menschen, eine Milliarde
less.
Menschen betreffen. Dabei
That's to go to the beginning. That goes to the. I'll play around with it another time. So I know what this guy's trying.
Herzlich willkommen zu meiner Session über barrierefreie Webseiten
Better
und
stop that.
Praxis. Ihr wisst ja alle,
Let's
und
close
ich will
that.
euch nicht mit Zahlenmaterial langweilen, dass
There we go. He does have this thing too to open the video for segmentation, but again, it's something that I haven't played around with. I just do the English ones in that. Yes, it's interesting because I learned quite a bit about translation issues from him, because he was mentioning that just some of the different issues. He would like to find one that's, he calls it dirty translations, that are like 98% accurate if they're good enough. But he was working away on that. So my wife has been using that tool to just do the subtitles for my videos. For instance, on the live stream, we just subtitle up until this chat, because it takes so long to do all of that. We just do the main text of what's happening inside of the discussion, the main part of the live stream. But cool. So now this video that you linked to doesn't have the English yet. I notice subtitles. It's got German or auto translate. So, but you're working on those. That's cool. Great to have more resources. Hey, okay, I got got the go ahead just here on Twitter from Phil to give you the quick view. Okay, DeepL.com translator better than Google or Bing. Does it do videos? Just right. Just getting some instructions from Phil. Just to have a quick look here before I show that to you. Don't want to get in trouble. He's a little... might be a little bit groggy there. Okay, so let me take you over to the full screen. Here's a sneak preview of the new myjoomla.com and what it looks like. We've got a lot of the normal features, the regular features that myjoomla.com has, different layout, And there's a bunch of other stuff, and I know he's been releasing some new tools. So I only got authorization to do a quick scroll through here. So, but you've got, it still has site tags. Boy, there's this neat thing, site screenshots. I won't show you that. Oh, I can't click on anything. I just going to scroll here, but look down. But just the things. And actually, for those of you who have watched the last time I was using my Joomla.com, I only had two. I think I had 2 hacked sites. Now I have 5 because Phil found a bunch of other ones. And of course, I'm saving those for tutorials. I'm actually going to copy them into one Joomla site. But anyway, so here's what it looks like. And I've been playing around with it, and it's pretty cool. And I know he's been doing a lot of work on this for the last, what's this, April now. So he's been working on this since December at least. So there you go. There's the new myjoomla.com. Sneak preview at what the page looks like, and been using it. And I know he's excited about releasing it soon. So yeah, Mary, I like it. It's in fact, if I go back to the old view, that I can show you. Log into my view here. Let me just get my... So here is the old view, the old site. And so what have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe about 15 sites on the one page. But on this site, you've got at least 20, perhaps 25. Things a little more compact down here, and on the down the left-hand column, and yeah, skinnier, more pushed out icons, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's faster. I'll tell you, it is faster checking the sites. Also, another neat thing that I can tell you, that's really just a change in how the functionality is presented. When you are searching all of your sites for the latest updates, and you would have a whole list here, and then it sort of goes bing, 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 and down this side all these graphics fill in as it's connecting, and there's others that are spinning. This actually brings up the sites as they're responding right away, so you aren't looking up and down. So that's kind of a neat thing too. But anyways, I better take that off before I get too tempted to show things that I'm not allowed to show yet. That means I will change to this screen there again. Yeah, Phil's done a great job with my Joomla.com, and there's so many people using it. And I see in the forums when someone says, "I'm having this problem, I think I'm hacked," and they send them over here for a free scan. So I know he wants to have that released pretty soon. So we'll definitely be featuring that in the video once those new features are live, and once the new site is live. And of course, those of you who already have memberships we'll see it right away as well. So okay, anything else for us to chat about? Oh, Hadjo, yeah, what is with the hack sites? Okay, I didn't see that you typed that. Yeah, I've got a few. I've got a 2.5 site that has had the brains hacked out of it. I thought about using that for a tutorial on dealing with things, but I may end up actually just deleting it because it's 2.5. It's so much work to fix it. But there are those other sites. They're not actively hacked. They're actually, I've looked at each of those files that is hacked. They are old hacks from years ago that I didn't clean up entirely because I didn't know where all the pages were, or they've showed up recently in scans that were new, because Phil's been using an updated list of hacks, and he's been finding a lot of crypto stuff as well. None of mine are crypto stuff. That would be exciting. But yeah, so he's just done a lot more hashes and found more things, and so a few more popped up on the site. So I've been kind of putting off fixing those because I want to do tutorials on them. And then So I'm actually going to lift them off those sites and put them on one Joomla site that I'm going to put together, just so they have all the hacked files all together, and then it won't look so alarming when I show things like this. Yeah, Corey, that you give that a try, because it is faster to when you're doing that. When you're using that other subtitle DIY captions, it's I find it a lot faster being able to tab through each thing, and just because if you're working with the one language, if you're, because so translating might not work so well as what Hadro's doing, but if you're reading English, say, and you need a comma or something should be capitalized, you just do it and then you hit tab and it skips to the next section. You don't have to keep going back and forth and up and click and down and scroll and look and backspace. It is a lot better. So give that a try, Corey. Vinny, you asked how the SSD is working out. It is working out great. I'm actually turning my computer off at night, because I know in the morning it'll turn on in about a minute or so, and I don't have to. Then I don't have to wait 4 minutes for everything to get going, and it's just so slow and syncing. So I really am enjoying the SSD drive. I was having coffee with a friend a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about his wife's laptop is slow, and so I think we might be putting an SSD drive in that as well. But yeah, it really snapped it up. Video processing is pretty much the same speed, so I now know that the bottleneck on that is the CPU, which is fine, because that's it's just it works away, and someday I'll get something that will crunch things faster. But yes, the SSD is great, and I continue to enjoy it. So there's things that you're looking forward to that eventually you get them, and then after a week or so or something like that, it's like, yeah, okay, that was great, but now I'm over it. Well, I've got a couple of things that I am not over. One of them is my internet connection when fiber optic finally came to our city. So I continue to just love the fast speeds from the internet, from fiber optic. And the other thing is the SSD drive. I still like it. I still get a kick out of it. So it's money well spent. Just because whenever stuff is happening fast, I enjoy it. So. Who's That's right, Corey. Hey, who's rocking SSD drives in here, and who's got spinny drives still? And while you're typing there, another thing I've been looking at is, for a client, is getting Synology to do some offline backups of their files. So what I want to do is sync all of their Dropbox files and all of their in the cloud files where they're storing things to a Synology, and then copy all of that onto a hard drive that's unplugged, to avoid the whole ransomware attack thing like the city of Atlanta is having. Because I think even if we take the best precautions against doing that, then against the ransomware attacks, we can really mitigate things by having all of our files on a hard drive that's just not plugged in to anything. So if we get hacked, at least all of our data is there, and then you just have to wipe your computers and reinstall your software, but then you're protected that way. So, all right, Vinny's got a spinny drive. Corey's got a spinny drive. Okay, Hadro, you've got your OS on an SSD and some hard drive. Yeah, I've got that too. I put the OS, the operating system, on the SSD, and now I've got a bunch of hard drives that I'm using. In fact, Emmanuel, hey! Is there any active discount for regular Labs extensions? Yeah, SSDs are coming down in price. It's nice, Corey. Let me just look on the regular Labs there. I don't see anything right now. Of course, he's got the discount on the bundle offer, but that's the £199 one. But I don't see any discounts. I will. I'll ask him if he's had any. I'll ask Peter if he's had any. And Emmanuel, I think I have your email, right? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that you've emailed me. But if you want to email me your address just so I have it for sure, and I'll check with Peter. I'll ask him right after I go offline, see if he's got any discounts happening, or when he's got some coming up. Emmanuel, what extension are you thinking about for on the regular labs there? I'm just looking at a site here. Usually, I think he's had Peter's had as many as 10 in the top 100, and right now he's got 8 in the top 100. Just to go back to the SSDs, yeah, I had a 1 terabyte drive that my operating system was on. Yes, crickets. So I'm going to talk and make some sounds there. I had a 1 terabyte hard drive that I had my operating system and everything on. I already added another hard drive for data because I need it more with all the videos that I've crunched. And then I shaved things down to under half a gig and went with the 500 gig SSD drive, 525 gigs. And then behind the shovel here is my wife's computer, and that's I think she has a 225 gigabyte, which handles the OS. And then the great thing is that, and this doesn't quite exactly work well with the laptop, but if you get an SSD drive and ghost your main drive to it, now you suddenly have a hard drive that you can use for data. So, and in fact, I believe you can probably ghost something that's larger and just do the operating system on and some other things without having to shrink it down. But then you have that drive to use for a backup. But what I'm going to do is actually get around to setting it up so that I can ghost the SSD drive back to that spinny drive and have it in my system. So if the SSD drive ever did fail, that I would be able to just have the spinny drive and not have to reload all my programs. In fact, on my wife's computer once, I bent over to unplug the lights that I have on my green screen, and I accidentally unplugged her computer while it was running. And so then I plugged it back in and rebooted her computer, and the SSD drive would not boot. And I thought, oh my goodness, I bricked the thing. And I tried all kinds of things, went to the forums, and there's all kinds of, and I was not getting any success. And I thought, oh darn, I'm gonna have to reload this whole thing. And I hadn't backed up her data recently, like freshly. I thought, oh, what has she lost? Then I don't know if I read this in the forum or I thought of it, because it's probably perspiration affects my memory. I opened up the CPU. I took the SSD drive. I physically disconnected it. Of course, the computer's off. Physically disconnected it from the computer. Then I plugged it in again to the cables and pushed the power, and it booted. So it actually needed to be physically disconnected from, I don't know what it was. I don't know, but that's what worked. And I plugged it in, and it booted, and it worked fine. So that was recovery from just an accidental power loss. And I do run the computers on UPSs. Uninterrupted power supplies, but when you just when you just unplug the computer from it, you kind of defeat the purpose of having that. But I just mentioned that if you're ever in a spot where an SSD drive is not booting because of something that's happened, that is something else to try that might get you out of the soup of it not booting. So alrighty, so I got some notes here. I'm gonna check with Peter about discounts on regular labs, and Emmanuel, I will get back to you on that. And I think that pretty much covers everything. As Vinny said there with hashtag crickets, I should hang up. Sorry, I shouldn't hang up, but after I go offline, Vinny, congratulations again on winning last month, and I'll get that information to you quick like a bunny right after I go off. And I think that will cover everything. So, thanks everybody. Great to catch up. And great to share the different things we've been sharing, the tips and ideas, and just hanging out. I enjoy it. And it's become a fun, regular Monday afternoon thing where I just sit down and just before I went live, I thought, hey, this feels like Monday afternoon now. So thanks, everybody, for your support of the channel. And enjoy your Joomla sites. God bless. Bye-bye. See you, Mary. Hajo, Vinny, Ahmed, Corey, and the few people that are on here lurking. I appreciate you lurking as well. God bless. Bye-bye.